everybody. How's everyone doing today? I'm so happy to be live from my page, Via Sana Wellness. I'm Alessia, transformational health coach, nutrition consultant, and founder of Via Sana Wellness, the healthy path to a diet-free life with the power of plants. I am so happy that you are joining me live from my page, and we're going to be talking today about something that is really dear to my heart, which is digestion, and how these 4 common digestive irritants can wreak havoc on your health and completely hinder your weight loss. So I'm going to just be sharing this video quickly with some groups that I'm a part of, and definitely if you feel that you want to share this with your friends, family, or anyone that you might be thinking would need this, definitely share it with them. So I help aspiring vegans and anyone who wants to improve their health with a plant-based diet, and I help them with this lifestyle choice faster and easier, so it can protect them from any nutrient deficiencies and any little hiccups along the way. So that is really my specialty. But I work with anyone who really wants to just clean up their diet and completely just feel better with plants and stop dieting and stop, like, you know, just this revolving door of diets. And I really believe that we need to kind of move away from that, because it's definitely not worked over the years. And I believe that if we really truly want to get healthy, everything begins in the digestive system, in the gut. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk about 4 of the common digestive irritants that actually hinder your weight loss. And what does that mean? It means that it's actually preventing, these foods are actually preventing you from losing weight. It's just really the most thing that we don't really think about is that certain foods actually stop us. We always think like it's fat or it's sugar, but it's actually a lot of the other things that we don't really think about that really hinder our weight loss efforts. So that, excuse me, that is what we're going to be talking about today. So many substances that we consume on a daily basis are actually what I call digestive irritants. And this is what is hindering your progress, what is hindering you from losing the weight, whether it's 20 pounds, 15 pounds, 30 pounds, or even more, or even less. If you've got like 5 or 10 pounds that are just not budging, digestive irritants are really hindering your weight loss efforts. But not only weight loss, they're also hindering your overall health, getting better, and fat loss and burning fat. So let's talk about those 4 common digestive irritants. So the first one is alcohol. I know, you're gonna hate me for saying this, but alcohol is unfortunately one of the top digestive irritants that we don't really realize is actually totally wreaking havoc on our health and completely stopping us from losing weight. How? So first of all, it's an intestinal irritant. So it irritates your intestines and your digestive tract and causes inflammation. So inflammation happens in your digestive system when you're drinking alcohol, especially when you're drinking beer and wine. And it leads to what I call, well, I don't call it, what is called leaky gut or intestinal permeability. What does that mean? It just means that your intestines are now really damaged, and the wall has been damaged, and now toxins can easily get in and out, which means that toxins inside your gut is coming outside into your bloodstream, and things that are circulating outside in your bloodstream are going into your gut. So that is what leaky gut is, and alcohol is one of the top irritants, and that's what it does. So 1 in 5 beer and wine drinkers actually end up becoming yeast sensitive. And what happens is anytime they have anything that has yeast in it, they will have a reaction. So whenever you start to, drink too much alcohol and you are starting to promote all this inflammation in your body, it's going to cause that, cortisol, which I talked about in my last video, the cortisol going up high into your body and your adrenals to release that. And what does that do? It stops you from losing fat. It stops you from losing weight. It's all just a cycle. So it also prevents nutrient absorption and causes imbalances. So alcohol is really, really, really bad for you, and I can't stress that enough. However, I know that some of us do drink alcohol. I do sometimes have a glass of wine. I used to drink a whole lot. I used to be a binge drinker, and that was the time in my life that I had the most problems, whether it was weight loss and digestion. It was all related to, a lot of it was related to my alcohol consumption. So I definitely strongly suggest that you eliminate alcohol, especially if you have a lot of weight to lose and especially if you have a lot of digestion issues. So like I said, inflammation is the bad guy, and you're going to see a pattern in today's live stream that inflammation comes up a lot. So the second one is antibiotics and general NSAIDs or pain medications. So I'm going to focus on antibiotics because antibiotics is something that we all have experienced taking, and we still do, and most of the time we overdo it and we actually don't realize that we're doing more harm than good. Now, before I want to go into that about antibiotics, I do want to give you a little disclaimer. I am not saying that you have to completely get rid of antibiotics. I'm not saying that you completely have to stop taking them, because antibiotics are absolutely needed when there's an infection and it is not getting better. So, however, most of us, what we do is we take them when we have a viral infection instead of a bacterial infection. And, doctors do it all the time. They prescribe it when we have like a flu or a cold, but it's the worst thing you can do because, first of all, you're actually hindering your natural immunity with antibiotics, but also antibiotics are, meant for killing bacteria, not viruses. So, especially like broad spectrum antibiotics, they actually kill all the bacteria, not just the bad, but also the good. So it, again, causes intestinal imbalances, causes inflammation and intestinal permeability, like I said, leaky gut, and increases allergy risks, which brings me back to being sensitive to other allergens, whether it's soy, whether it's yeast, whether it's sugar, and dairy as well. So you will see a lot of this pattern when you're taking too many antibiotics, is that your whole system is totally out of whack. And that is going to affect your weight loss efforts, because if, again, we have too much inflammation in our body, what happens is inflammation causes our body to release cortisol, which is that, it's that cycle. And then once you release cortisol and the cortisol level is high, the stress level is high, weight loss is hindered. So try your best to only take antibiotics is in extreme cases and when you only have a bacteria infection, not a viral infection. So very, very important. Again, inflammation. We want to reduce the inflammation. Third, coffee and tea. So how does coffee and tea act as a common irritant? Well, let me say this. I drink coffee. I love coffee. And I don't think that coffee needs to be completely eliminated in healthy individuals. However, if you are someone who is struggling with weight and struggling with digestion, you definitely want to reduce your coffee and your tea. Two reasons why. The first one is that, first of all, coffee contains a lot of caffeine, but coffee and tea both contain caffeine and tannins, but they contain theobromine, methylxanthines, and other chemicals that actually are not really beneficial. They're actually toxic to your body. So what do? They bind minerals. I'm right, I've written this down because sometimes I forget. They bind to minerals, especially calcium. So what happens is that once you have these minerals that are so important, like calcium, not being absorbed, it totally goes into disbalance. And so therefore your sodium goes high, and you have a mineral imbalance. And then it starts a chain reaction, and you'll end up, again, promoting inflammation. And then you'll also promote poor nutrient absorption. So your nutrients are not actually being absorbed. So what happens when your nutrients are not absorbed? Your body goes into what we call starvation mode. So you're eating calories, you're eating all the healthy food under the sun, but you're like, why am I not losing weight? And you probably have experienced this before. You're like, well, and I get this a lot with my clients. They come to me and they're like, but I look at my food diary. I'm eating so well. Why am I not losing weight? And I always go into the gut and how they're absorbing nutrients. Because if you're not absorbing nutrients, there's no point. It doesn't matter what you eat. So coffee and tea are really not the best in, a whole food, holistic diet. So if you do love your coffee and your tea, just try and reduce it to 1 cup per day, and try to remove the sugar. Okay, this is something that I really, really stress. When I have my coffee, I either have it with no sugar or like half a teaspoon of coconut sugar, because it's low in GI and it won't spike my blood sugar level. So again, if you're not absorbing nutrients because you're using all these digestive irritants, your body is going to not lose weight. It's going to block everything that's happening. It's going to cause inflammation. So it is a chain reaction. And everybody always wants fast results. Everybody wants, to lose weight like in a week or in, 15 days or a month. But it can only happen if your gut is in a good state and you're absorbing nutrients. So like I said, coffee and tea. If you really love coffee and tea, there's a lot of alternatives that you can have. Like coffee, there's like barley coffee. There's also decaffeinated ones, and if you want, you can also try some herbal teas that are actually more beneficial, you can drink that throughout the day if you're totally addicted to coffee and tea. But really, I strongly suggest to remove and reduce or remove coffee and tea. So the last one, the fourth irritant, is wheat and gluten. So wheat and gluten. Why are wheat and gluten digestive irritants? Now, we all know about celiac disease, and people who suffer with celiac, they're completely allergic to gluten and wheat, and they mustn't touch it at all. Otherwise, it's extremely dangerous. Now, what happens with people that are still intolerant or sensitive to wheat and gluten is that their gut is actually really, really weak. And so it happens over time. So over time, you are, eating very bad wheat or non-organic wheat, or you're eating too many processed junk foods. Slowly, your intestines will, damage over time and begin to bring up a allergic reaction or a sensitivity. So it's not full-blown celiac, but you are sensitive. So wheat, you don't have to be a celiac to suffer from wheat and sensitivity or wheat intolerance. So why is it a digestive irritant? It's the same as the other ones. It causes intestinal permeability. It is very tough on the wall lining or the lining of the gut. So it actually causes a whole host of different symptoms, and I could go into it, but I don't want to go into all of the symptoms because it's much more complicated. But some of the most common symptoms of a wheat allergy, or not a wheat allergy, sorry, a wheat sensitivity, are bloating, flatulence, gas, constipation, which is something that I suffered with many, many years. And the first thing I did was completely eliminate gluten. And I really experienced a lot of amazing benefits from that. I've reintroduced gluten, but I only eat it once, every few weeks, and I keep it organic. But if you are not losing weight and you're experiencing bloating, gas, constipation, all these things, then definitely eliminate wheat. So you might be thinking, oh, but what am I going to eat now? So gluten grains are wheat, rye, oat, spelt, and barley. So get rid of all those and introduce quinoa, introduce rice, any type, brown, white, wild, corn, buckwheat. Those are amazing grains, whole grains that you can use in place of your wheat products. And you can also find the flour versions of these as well to bake, to cook, to make breads. We're very lucky now. We have so much to choose from. So another thing about wheat is it contains what we call phytates. Now, phytates actually, again, it binds to calcium and prevents the absorption of nutrients. Again, that same chain reaction. You're not absorbing nutrients, therefore you're not receiving the nutrition. So you're eating and you're always hungry and you're not, losing any weight. And it's all just under the little umbrella of the gut and under the little umbrella of the inflammation. So we can truly say that, in summary, inflammation is what stops you from losing weight. So this is something that I really, truly, truly believe in after all these years that I've studied and also seen on myself and my experience with my clients, that there's no point in starting a new diet, embarking on a new lifestyle change if you don't address the inflammation first. Because it's like, you're trying to change something, but you still have the problem. So you're not actually fixing anything. You're just, mounting it on top and confusing your body. So that's why I always start with some sort of cleanse or some sort of low GI, low inflammation food plan with all my clients. And with that being said, I do want to introduce to you guys the Thrive with Plants 14-Day Slim Down. If you haven't yet signed up for it, I'm just going to post the link into the comments. So the Thrive with Plants 14-day program is a 14-day clean eating program that helps you to identify the foods that work for you and the foods that don't. It's like cleaning up house. So if you have struggled with weight loss and you aren't really losing weight, even on a plant-based diet, it might be because there's a lot of underlying issues going on with nutrient absorption and digestive problems and irritants, like I talked about in today's video. So definitely sign up with the program. It's a group coaching program that is going to be starting on the 16th of October. So you have 24 hours left, well, actually less. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. GMT, my time, Dubai time, is when the early bird price ends. So get yours now. It's at $97 and it's going to go up. You're going to save $60 if you get your promo early bird rate now. So definitely check that out. Thrive with Plants. It's my signature beginner programs for anyone who wants to lose weight, anyone who's a junk food vegan who wants to lose weight and get off the junk, and anybody who really wants to truly start to love their body with no diets, but really understand what works and what doesn't work for them. So losing weight naturally becomes a breeze. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and definitely check it out, the program. And I'd love for you also to join my private Facebook group. It's called Plant Powered Wellness Warriors. You can find a link on my page. And if you have any questions regarding the Thrive with Plants program, just comment down below or send me a PM. I'd love to answer. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.